Hello friends, welcome to Health. Now in my last videos I spoke about the importance of analysis of drawing. Now friends, drawing analysis is very important. However, has to be one caution. It is not an absolute indicator for the medicine, but it will just give you hints, more so when the patient is not speaking. But this will give you hint which have to correlate and confirm with the original history. Only when you confirm your observation with the original history provided by the patient, and then based on the drawing you have to again re-question the patient and confirm your observation, then only this understanding of drawing is important. So let us see few drawings and try to see what those drawings indicate. So let us this first read the first drawing. Now this was a male child, 13-year-old, and when we asked about drawing, he made this drawing. So now friends, what do you observe from this drawing? I urge all the participants to please pause here, write down your observation and then see whether your observation is similar to what I have observed. So what do you observe in this child? So when you see this child, the first thing what you observe that this is the child is smiling and a big smile. This indicates that this child is an approaching child, an extroverted child. Second, what they observe that the eyes are very big. Again, that also indicates that this is an approaching child. Also, when you compare this eyes, big eyes, with this big face, you see that this child is also a dominating child. Now, when you see the shapes of the ear of this character, and this character also does not resemble a human being, but it resembles a cartoon type of character, and this has imagination of this child, which also means that the imagination of this child is very good. Also, this is kind of an mask like drawing, which means that the child is hiding something. The eyes are also so wide, that indicates that there is some anxiety lurking in the child. So this is a drawing. When you observe this drawing, you see that this is a child who has a strong vivid imagination. He is drawn a mask, which means he is hiding something from you. There is some hidden intention of this child. The child is an approaching child. The eyes also indicate a dominating nature and an anxious child. So these are the few observations which you can make when you see a child. Now let us move on to the second drawing. So this is a 13-year-old male, and when we ask again this child to draw his imaginary drawing and his drawing of his family, he drew this drawing. Now what does this drawing indicate? You have to observe minutely what the drawing has. Now if you see this drawing, there is a child standing. This is a lone child, alone, only one child, and then there are boundaries. So the child has gone on boundaries and he is inside these boundaries. Usually when we try to analyze, we also try to see the house tree percentage. House tree person. So this is the common drawing. When you ask a child to draw, he will draw a house, he will draw a tree, and he will draw a person. So in this case, this child is a lone child. The house is missing. The house is missing. There is a boundary. The child is inside the boundary, and the sun is hiding. The sun is hiding. So this indicates that this child is feeling very lonely. The absence of house means that the child is not feeling that he is at his house. He might not be getting the required affection from his parent. He is feeling lonely. That is why the house is absent. The child is alone and there are boundaries. So probably the parents are very dominating. There are boundaries which are set around him and he feels probably that he is alone. The kind of affection the child has to get from parent is not getting. And again, this is a only single line sketch draw. Only lines are drawn, which means this child is not an artistic child. The child, the size of the child is very small. That means he is also being dominated. Now, when you see this second drawing of this child, you see that this is the child, this is the father, and this is the mother. Now, if you see the same child, previously when we saw that he is feeling alone, now in this drawing, the child is close to the father and the mother is little away, which means, which indicates that this child is not getting the kind of love and affection from the mother as it should be. Hence, the house was missing. The child is more attached to the father. The child is feeling lonely. Probably the mother might be very dominating on the child, and the child feels that he is very lonely. So from a drawing, you can get lots of hints. And now when you take the history, when you see the history, if you get the same feeling, then you are coming very close to the remedy. Your remedy gets confirmed. Let us now see another child. So this is a child, again a 15-year-old male, and when we ask him to draw anything of his imagination, he drew this drawing. Now if you see, what he has done was he has copied this logo and then he has copied this symbol which was there in the clinic, and he just copied this symbol and submitted the drawing. What does this mean? This means that the child, now here the Mickey Mouse are laughing, so the child is an approaching child, but he does not have any imagination. He cannot, he is not very sharp, and he cannot think any new creative ideas. So this child is not a creative child. This child has copied only what he has seen in the environment. So when he saw the logo of clinic Homeocare, he copied Homeocare, and then he copied the Mickey Mouse which was there on the compass box. Friends, if you remember in my last video, I told that we have to strictly instruct the child that not to copy anything, but to make a drawing of his own imagination. But here this child was copying. So we understand that this child has got his imaginary power, his imaginations are very less, is not a very creative child. Now let us see another child. Now this is Anusi, a 10-year-old female child, and she draw this drawing. Again we see that here house, tree, person, taste. The house is there, the tree is there, but the person is absent. This means that this child also does not feel at home. Again, this child might be a withdrawing child, and this child might be feeling alone, not getting love and affection from the parents. Second thing, what you observe in this drawing is that there is a road which is missing. Friends, these are very important points to note. So this road, now this road is missing, which means that the child is feeling stuck up somewhere. He does not know where to go. Probably the child is again dominated by parents, feeling lonely because the child is not there. Probably the child is there inside the house, but the child does not have a path to come out. So he might be again dominated by parents, or the child does not know what she has to do. Her future path is not clear. The path is not there. So she does not know where she has to go, what she has to do. Again, the drawing is quite a good, reasonably okay drawing. The colors which she has used for are quite light. There is no extra pressure in the drawing. She has used quite a light color, but there is no creativity in this drawing. So this probably the drawing is of a mineral remedy, but not as creative as a carcinosin drawing. So the proportions are not there properly. So not a very creative child, but otherwise quite okay child, which means the child is more probably from a mineral group of remedy, and the child is an introverted child. A child is a confused child, not knowing about her future path. So the confidence might be probably lacking somewhere. Now let us see the next drawing. Observe this drawing of a 10-year-old child. Now when we ask him to draw, he has done this drawing. What do you infer from this drawing? So here now the HTP, the house tree person, is absent, which says that this is not an animal, so not a plant remedy, not an animal remedy, but somewhere between a mineral remedy. Second thing is that when you see the drawing, that the drawing is of a car, which means that the child might be liking car. But now when you observe this drawing very carefully, you see that there's a lot of structure. The lines are quite straight. Probably he has used a scale to draw, which means that the child is very systematic, again indicating towards a mineral remedy. The structure is proper, the things are proper. He has drawn one wheel, second wheel, third wheel, and a fourth wheel, which means that small detailing are there in the drawing. So this indicates that this child has a lot of fond, a lot of attraction towards car, but he is very systematic. So probably from the mineral group also, this might be a metal remedy. There is lot of structure in the drawing, more systematic, more planning, giving importance to small details. So this probably is a drawing of a metal remedy. Let us observe another child. This child of a 9-year-old male, when we give him instruction to draw, we give him a coloring sheet and a drawing to make of his own. So we ask him to draw anything which comes to his mind, and also we give the coloring sheet. So what do you observe from this? First, let us take this coloring sheet. When you see that this was a drawing, the child has used dark color. The child, now this is a drawing of a tiger, but the child has not used the normal color of tiger, which means that he is not giving importance to small details. So detailing is not there, which means little carelessness is there. Again, when you see that lot of things that the child was very hurried, you see that the colors, the red color is now going on the black color also, which means that he is very hurried child. The pressure with which he has used lot of pressure. The pressure is more. So this means that this is a child which typically what we described in our previous videos on ADHD. This is a child who is probably having ADHD. The dark color indicates the aggressiveness. The smudging of color indicates his impatience or carelessness, and not a proper color of a tiger indicates that he is least concerned, little careless, little impatient, and wants to just hurry up things. Now the same drawing, now this second drawing, when we see, now this drawing, the child is this is a child, again just a line drawing, which means that the child is little hurried again child. Then there is a ghost, and the ghost is trying to come towards the child, and the child is saying, get away from me. And also there is a weapon. So this means that this child is also feeling threatened. The child is an again hyperactive child, which also we can confirm from this. The child feels threatened. The child is an aggressive child because he is using a weapon. So there is some kind of a fear in this child. The child feels that he is being threatened. So somewhere, either some boy in the school might be bullying him, and this child is now on a defense and tries to defend himself and says, get away from me. He is using an weapon to fight this imaginary ghost. So probably this child is being bullied by some of his seniors in the school or by some other kid, and he is trying to defend himself, and he is very hyperactive, aggressive and careless and impatient child. So again, a 10-year-old child, we ask him to draw a drawing, and he draws this drawing. So what is this drawing? This drawing is a drawing of Lord Ganesha. So which means that this child is more having a religious inclination. He is more religious, a God-fearing child. Now the colors which he has used, if you see compared to other drawings, this is a very light colors. The colors are very light colors, which means that this child is not a very dominating child. So probably a plant remedy or a mineral remedy. The structure is not proper. The shape, the structure of this Ganesha idol is not a proper systematic structure. So a child who is more religious, light color indicates not a very dominating child, or a plant or a mineral remedy. Structure wise, not a very good structure, which means that he is not very creative like a carcinosin, but he is okay. Otherwise the drawing is quite okay, because 10-year-old child drawing Ganesha is also really good, but the proportions are not in place. So it means that this might be probably a plant remedy or a mineral remedy, and not a very dominating but a mild remedy. So this is a 13-year-old male child. Now when we ask to draw, he has made this drawing. So again, when we see this child, we apply our same theory: house, tree, person, test. The house is there. Yes, the house is there. The tree is there. Yes, the tree is there. The person is there. Yes, the child is there. Now when we see this drawing, first what we see that this child has not used pencil. So he just took the sketch pen and drew the drawing with single stroke, which means that this is a confident child. He has drawn trees. Now all these trees are giving fruits. So which means that this child is an approaching child. There is a river also, mountain. So structurally, technically, this drawing is a complete drawing. So when you see this drawing directly using colors without using pencil, seems that this child is a confident child. Trees having fruit, seems that this child is an approaching child. And when you see that whole structure is again complete, indicate that this probably would be a animal remedy or a plant remedy. I hope, friend, with these few examples, there are so many things on drawings. We will be again taking one course on only to understand these finer aspects of drawing, what you have to see and what you have not to see, what to ignore, what to see. In the course when we try to decode the drawings. But Friends, the point here was to make that drawing also indicate and gives you a lot of hint into the child's temperament, into the child's innate nature, and hence drawing is compulsory when you see a child, and analyzing that drawing will give you good hints. You can see whether the child is an approaching or a withdrawing, alone, feeling threatened, a hyperactive child, and lot many inferences can be drawn. I hope this you like this video, and I know there will be a lot of queries on to see more drawings and to analyze more drawings. In future, definitely we'll take up a course, take up a full lecture on how to understand drawing. Thank you very much for this listening to this video. Thank you.
मिल गया खो गया था जो सितारा मिल गया रोशन हुई सारी ज़मीं जगमग हुआ सारा जहां हो उड़ने को तू आजाद है बंधन कोई अब है कहाँ